G'day and welcome to another episode. My name is Daethstro, the Aussie Geek, and today we will be looking at the war for Cybertron Earthrise Deluxe Class Runamuck. And I won't lie, I've tried to record this 3 times and I keep getting his name wrong. Unfortunately, I do not have the runabout. It was, I believe, a Walmart exclusive, but I am happy to say at least I'm getting the third-party representation of both Runabout and Runamuck. So here we go. He does roll pretty well, although my wheels don't really want to turn. It could be just the surface here. So original G1 Runamuck was a battle charger. You basically pulled them back, you let it go forward, and it flipped up and transformed in one go. Never had it, but yeah, it is what it is. Comes with a gun, which I will just take that out now, which is rather tight. Runabout comes with 2 of these. They're both red. Of course, being a War for Cybertron figure, you can use this port for your guns. And honestly, it's strangely enough, for the outside, for the car mode, there really isn't anything you can use for explosion points or anything. Now that I look it over. Strange. So here it is from one side, here it is from the front, although mine's a little bit squiff. The other side, back, top, and of course underneath. So let's get down to our usual first size comparison. And here he is with Windblade. He is shorter than she is. Obviously she's wider because of her wings. I say that every single episode, so I hope that doesn't annoy people. And due to, I'd say, the blade, she's a little bit taller. So there we go. So you didn't hear it, but I just had to wait for a truck to go past before I continued on. So yeah, so let's get this guy down to transformation. We'll just tilt this camera up a little bit. I am thinking about getting an actual proper camera, not using my phone, just because the actual lens is over more to the side. If I wanted a more focus, I'd have to turn the phone on its side, and honestly I don't want to do that. So anywho, enough for behind the scenes. So what we're going to do first is we're going to pull out this bit, and that's just going to flip up the front, which there's your battle charger gimmick, the extra wheels. Can't really do the rest of it, but yeah, so there's your, you just can't really get the head out due to the rest of the transformation. Anywho, so what we're going to do is we're going to push this down so it lifts up the cab, and we're going to pull this up, and we're just going to lift that up a little bit for the time being. We'll finish off with his feet. So you're going to pull it out. There is 2 tabs here that go into the hands, and just fold that out. Then of course you can split them apart, which gives us his individual legs. Then what we're going to do is we'll just rotate his waist, which I don't know why it's getting stuck. I don't think it's catching on anything. Why don't you want to... Okay, so for some reason mine doesn't want to rotate the other way during transformation. That's weird. Anywho, so what we will do is then of course we will pull out the arms like so. We can fold out his hands, just come underneath. I don't think there's any real reason to, you know, pause and all the rest of that, being this figure. You know, it's not like it's going to take me 20 minutes to get to robot mode. All right, next we are going to pull this out to the front and get in here. Now his head does sometimes get caught, so you just got to keep fiddling till you can get it out. There we go. And we can rotate it around to get it the right way, but we'll leave that for the time being. So we're going to come back here, and that's going to fold out from out of here. It just sort of sits in there and tabs in somehow. And then what you want to do is push these wheels in. You then want to use this hinge to push it up against his back, which for some reason they just push the whole thing forward as well. And then what you can do is you can press that in. So these pieces here, thank you motorbike, are going to go into these gaps here. Now if you want, you don't have to have this up here if you don't want. If you want a slightly cleaner backpack or profile, whatever you can call it, you can fold that down and push that down there. So it sort of hides. So we'll just leave it like that for the moment, and then I'll get back. So you're going to push that back to lock that in place, flip that up, and there we have Runamuck with a very with a very different backpack. But if you want a proper looking Runamuck, fold this up on that hinge, and voila, now he looks like himself, and you still get that battle charger gimmick. Now in this mode we get a lot more stuff. We have explosion points, we have one here, we have one here, we have one here. Where else? I think that's it. We of course have, that's just my dinner if you can actually hear it. You have ports here. You probably saw these ones earlier. One here, these two up here. Scratch my nose, sorry about that. And so there we go, and of course you have his hands. So we'll get down to articulation first, and then we will go from there, if I can keep it focused. So his head can do a full 360, it's just sort of a little bit fiddly when trying to get past there. You can do it, but yeah, it is what it is. Head doesn't really look up, looks a little bit down. Due to the ball joint, I suppose you can do a little bit of tilt. Arms can do a full 360, but it sort of gets stuck on the backpack. Arms can go up that far. We have bicep rotation. We have single jointed elbow. We have no wrist rotation due to the pin, the way the transformation is, which, sorry, nose keeps getting itchy, which I find a little bit bizarre, because how difficult would it have been to separate the hand from the wrist to actually give him a wrist swivel? So that just seems a little bizarre on my part. He has waist rotation. He has no ab crunch. If you lift his legs out, they can go out that far. Legs go up pretty high. Legs don't really go back very far. Actually, I don't know, can't tell if that's, no. What's happening is it's actually hitting on his spine. I don't know if you can actually see it, but the piece should get like a tool or something. Anyway, just in here, there's a bit of a black piece, which is his main body. When it gets up that far, it sort of gets stuck. He has thigh rotation. He has technically a double jointed knee if you use transformation joint, which gets you that far. So you can do the all the way if you want. Obviously, also this is supposed to tab in here, which does, but when you move it, it sort of changes. He does have ankle tilt. His foot can go all the way down due to transformation and can't really go up. And of course, you have the battle charges heel to give him even more stability. So there we go. And of course, that all the. I don't know, it just seems weird that this needed a faux chest, because here's his chest, and of course there's the actual thing. But hey, it's the way it is nowadays, and of course, thank God this is Earthrise, so there's no scratch paint anywhere. So there we go. Now, of course, we didn't really have much look. He does have his gun, like I said. Runabout has 2 red ones, so yeah, but it is nice. You probably can't see too much of the details. There we go, just black plastic. And of course you have a pop back here because the runabout gun can actually tab in. So this can go into here to create a bigger gun. And as I said, you can put it up here, you can put it in there, try to get refocused again. Put it on there for some bizarre reason. You can do what you want with it. But yeah, so if you're wondering why Runabout has 2, but Runamuck only has 1, there you go. And I think there's a slight like redesign of the head and everything too. But like I said, I've pre-ordered both of them, the X-Transbots versions. So I have ordered those along with the Omnibots. So you can just plug that in there, and like I said, it just seems weird that they couldn't give this a wrist swivel. I'm sure there was a way. But let's get down to final comparisons. Here he is, of course, with Galvatron. Obviously, he looks way small because he's not a masterpiece, but there you go. So if you like this video, give me a thumbs up. If you didn't like this video, give me a thumbs down. I promise you it will not hurt my feelings. Maybe even leave me a comment. I'm always happy to get a comment, and especially to respond to anyone who's, watches my videos. Even if it's for 15 seconds, if you only watch a small portion of my videos, I'm happy. Just leave me a comment. I'm happy to respond. Apart from that, maybe subscribe and ring the bell if you want to see all the posts. As I said in the last video, I am back to my weekly posts. So this guy, I don't know what the date will be. Either way, it's the Tuesday after I've posted the Spinister episode. So once again, it gets up. It posts at 1 a.m. AEST. So if you're an American or overseas viewer, you'll obviously probably get to see it sooner. But for those of us who are in Australia and are like, when can I see your video? By the time you wake up, this thing's been posted. So thanks for watching, and I'll catch you later.